Hey guys, welcome back to Grover Home. It has been a busy week and I have not been doing listing as much as I should have. One of the great things about doing reselling is being able to make my own schedule. So this week I had a kid with the flu that was sick in the house and I had to scrub the entire house with bleach and keep her safe and healthy and getting her back to school. And that was kind of my priority this week. And it was nice because I was able to kind of let eBay take a back seat. I still sold stuff. I'm still shipping stuff, but I could let off of listing a little more. And that's one of the beauties of reselling is I'm bringing in an income, but also I'm able to prioritize my time where I want it for the week. So this week we've had some great sales, and let me tell you one thing that you could be doing to increase your sales. Um, First off, we're going to start up with I sold 3 of these little plates. They're pink. If you can see the pattern, it's called dogwood. These are little vintage depression glass. Pink always sells really good, so if you're looking for depression glass, uranium obviously everybody loves and goes after. It doesn't sell necessarily for more money than the other colors, it's just um, more collected sometimes. But in the world of colored glass, pink is a good one. If I'm looking, I don't really buy clear glass things. I would have bought these plates for like $2, $3. Total, they sold for $13.99 plus shipping. All right, next up we have Rayman 3. I believe it's called Rayman. It's a Game Boy Advance game. We bought a Game Boy Advance quite a while ago. It had this little extra thing on it. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a really expensive thing if it worked, and I didn't know if it worked. We couldn't test it out. Anyways, that little extra thing, I can't remember what it is. I'm sure Jason can find what it is or tell you what it is in the stuff. But it it ended up selling for $200. Then the Game Boy Advance sold as well, and now we just have some of the games. The games, I mean, less than 50 cents a piece, if that. We were buying it mostly for the Game Boy Advance and the other thing that was attached to it because that was worth a lot of money. And so, I don't know, 50 cents for a game is what I would possibly estimate. This one sold for $13.50 plus shipping, so not a bad sell. These are always fun ones. We haven't sold these in a minute. It's Revereware, and that's kind of on me. I had 4 of them just sitting here in my dead stock, or my, not dead stock, my stuff that needed to get listed. And I just kind of was dragging my feet on them. They sell pretty good as long as you get the American made ones. Check the newer ones are made in China now. So people only like the American made ones. They go for better prices. They're not like hugely expensive pots. But you can usually pick them up at like an estate sale or something like that for within a couple bucks. And this one sold for $15. I believe I paid $1 or $2 for it. And it sold within, I want to say, less than a week. I think it was 5 days that it sold. All right, I have talked about this before. I will talk about it again and again and again. You are hurting yourself if you are not doing international sales. 3 out of my 9 orders that I'm packing up today are international sales. That was 30% increase in my sales because I do international. So first up, these ornaments, I picked them up for $1 at the thrift store. They sold for $12.59 plus shipping. So not bad on them. These little guys, they were actually free. They were inside of a Christmas house that I picked up that I bought for the house. So there wasn't really any cost into them, and they sold for $15 plus shipping. And the best one is this order from Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4. They asked for 4 of these cups. I had them all listed separately. I listed them all together for them so that I could just get all the shipping correct and everything. And I picked each cup up for $1 at the thrift store or at yard sales, $1 or $2 a piece. I negotiated to sell them for $11 a piece to sell them all together. So that was $4 to $44, which is a good profit. The best thing is if you do international, you do not have to worry about the shipping itself. So eBay does all of the international. If it's listed as international, they will have you ship it to a hub. For us, it's like in Ohio or something. And then they ship it from there. And they do the VAT tax, they do all of the tariffs, any of that kind of extra stuff that you normally would have to do with international shipping. eBay does that. So all I have to do is package it up and ship it. Struggling. Like I would do any other order. My end, I only see the shipping costs for it going to Ohio. And so it's just like a normal US kind of thing. It goes through the USPS, goes to their hub, and then once it gets to their hub, eBay takes over from there, packages it, does all the international part of it, pays all the taxes for it internationally, and they handle any issues like returns and that kind of stuff, missing mail. So it's no longer your problem. So you are only hurting yourself by not using international shipping. That will always be my spiel. I will continue to advocate for the international sales. They have still been good even with everything going on with tariffs and stuff. Like I said, I had 3 this week, and one of those orders ordered 4 things from me. A lot of times with the international sales, I end up selling multiple things to them because it helps tax wise and shipping wise if they just get it all together. So if they find something from you as a seller and they want to buy it, then they'll just buy from you if you have all those things. So if you have a bigger shop, it also helps too, because then they can look at all your things that you have available. Little cute Christmas ornament. It's called Grandma's Cookies. It's a little raccoon eating a cookie. Kind of just cutesy. It's House of Lloyd is the brand, and I don't pick up House of Lloyd really much anymore. It's really hard for me when I'm at the thrift store and something at 75 cents to just walk away from it. But the the profit margin, it's fine. Like I sold it for $8.54, so obviously that's like a lot of turnover for 75 cents. But I've talked about this before, selling things for higher dollar and having less inventory is where I'm going for. I would rather have 1,000 things for $20 than 2,000 things for $10. Just less storage, less time listing, less time shipping. It just manages your time better. This one I loved. It's a Gemi vintage light up. Everything works on it. I was so excited. Got it home, and then I realized that it's supposed to say boo across here, and the B is broken. The ghost is great. I was kind of just initially looking at him. I didn't notice the boo was broken. So obviously isn't worth as much as it should be because of that. And so because of that, I had it listed a little lower. And even with it being listed lower, it wasn't really selling. I paid, I think, $2 for it at the thrift store, which is really good. And then I got an offer for $10. I only had it listed for 14, and so I went ahead and took the offer just because where it's broken and somebody would have to look past the flaw on it. I figured I didn't know if I would get a better offer than that. So where it's not Halloween time, there's no reason to have it sitting here. So I went ahead and took that offer. I don't know. Sometimes I take offers and sometimes I don't. It probably depends on my mood and whether I've eaten or not. These ones are still fun. They will always be fun. It's a whole bunch of Hawaii magnets. I picked these up in a lot of like hundreds of magnets for $2. So kind of really hard to estimate, probably under $1 or so for all of these magnets. And then I just sat and lotted them up into different lots based off of like what they were. So these were all from Hawaii. So I just put a whole bunch of Hawaii magnets together. I think there's 11 of these. And they sold for $17.99 plus shipping. So these were fun. They were kind of a lot of work to go through, but I ended up with a whole bunch of listings out of them. And most of them have sold and sold fairly well. And my last thing, this actually just sold while I was packing. Christmas ornaments, love them. We're well into the end of February and I'm still selling Christmas ornaments. That's why I continue to pick them up and will always pick them up. They're now my bread and butter. I've replaced doing cup, like mug, coffee mug with Christmas ornaments. So they sell really well. I've gotten really good at the different brands and knowing kind of what will sell. It's kind of become my little genre that I like. I obviously also sell other things, but this is one of my favorite ones to sell currently. This one sold, I picked it up at the thrift store. Actually, I got this at an estate sale. I'm sorry. And I paid $2 for it, and they sold for $12.99 plus shipping. And this one sold relatively fast. I think I've only had this one listed for like 2 months. I spent a lot of time getting on top of my inventory, and how I had everything listed for all of my Christmas ornaments. That's what's behind me here, and doing a numbering system. And so now when I get new Christmas ornaments, you can see there's holes here. I just go through and kind of fill up the holes with the new Christmas ornaments. So I keep on top of keeping them listed, which is nice. Nothing gets broken or lost. And I can kind of see what's moving and what's not. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me for today. Let me know in the comments what you want to know more about or what you want to see more of. Thanks.